On Geogebra is you can move your screen. Generally, for most things, you're going to keep this this arrow over here highlighted. To move your graph, come over here to move graphics view, and then you can slide your graph down. To insert a picture, you're simply going to drag it from your desktop. So I have a picture of Hanscom. I'm just going to drag it into my desktop and then slide it so I have it where I want it to be. If you'd like to put an axis on it, come over again to the Move Graphics view, click on it, and then right-click in your graphics space. You'll see Grid. Select your grid, and then you have that there. Again, go back and click the arrow. To put your picture in the back, come on your picture and right-click it. Down here, you'll see Object Properties. When you click on that, you'll see that you have a chance to put your object in the background. Now, when you come back to your original picture, if you'd like, you've got a grid placed right on top. You can also choose not to use the grid if you prefer. The next thing we want to do is mark off the points on our plot. So I'm going to click over here on A where it says point. I'm going to put a point at the top of the flagpole. I'm going to put a point at the bottom of the flagpole. Let's pretend that I had been standing right here. So now I have my 3 points. Since I was standing on level ground with the flagpole and I want this to be a right angle, I can adjust my point E right here by right-clicking on it and making the Y value be the same. So I want to double-click on it and change my Y value so that it's 2.62 also, and I hit return. Now, if I go to the next box where it says line, I'll see, if I touch the little down arrow, that I have a chance to make a segment. So if I just click on C, come down to E here, and then from E to D, D back to C, and I have my triangle. Now, a couple things we can do. If you like the labels, you can leave them on. If you right-click, you have a chance to show the label or not to show it. So if you like having your points labeled, this is 0, 0. You can. If you don't want to show it, you just turn it off. So I want to change and not show that these say C, D, and E, so I'm going to right-click on them and turn off the Show Label. Right-click and click Show Label. Right-click, Show Label. Now these black lines are very hard to see here, so I'm going to put my cursor on them. I'm going to right-click, and I have a chance to go to Object Properties. The first thing I'm going to do is change the color. I want them to be red. The next thing I'm going to change is the style, and I'm just going to make the lines a little thicker so they're easier to see. And then I close that. Now you can see I have a nice thick line, and I'm going to do the same thing for each of these segments. I'm going to go to Object Properties. I'm going to change my line thickness. I'm going to make my color red. And lastly, I'm going to do the same thing here. Object Properties, red. Make my style nice and thick. Okay, again, you can choose to leave the grid, or if you decide you don't like it, come over here to Graphics View, get rid of the grid if you want, get rid of the axes, and there's your picture. Okay, if you want to get rid of these labels, H, F, and G, again, just come over here, turn off the Show Label. And get rid of all of those. Now to export it to my Google Doc, all I need to do is come over here, hit File, Export, Graphics View to Clipboard. As soon as I've done that, I've cut and pasted. So now, when I open up my Google Doc, which is right here, all I have to do is Command V, and my picture appears, and I can move it around, I can shrink it, I can make it grow, whatever I want to do. Alrighty, once I'm in my Google Doc, if you'd like to do a formula, if you come under Insert, Pi Squared Equation, here are all my Greek letters to label angles. Here are all my multiplication division signs. This one you won't need, and if you have a less than or equal to, but you won't be needing that. Here's where you can do fractions, square roots, anything that you want. Arrows if you need them. Fractions are what we would most likely need. So for example, I could type in here cosine. I want to put in an angle. So insert pi squared. Let's choose, where's theta? I'm not seeing theta right now. There it is, cosine of theta. And if I want to write cosine of theta and write this as a fraction, again, I'm going to go to Insert, an equation, come over here, choose my fraction. It has a chance for me to write adjacent, go down here over hypotenuse. That's very small. Let's see if we can make that bigger. Doesn't look like I can make that bigger, but I can type a fraction in there. And then you can continue typing your math work in here. So I hope that helps you getting your project picture taken. And remember, you'll need a picture for each one of your 8 buildings.